So, enough with that. We're going to get to the wrestling stuff now. What happened on Friday Night Smackdown tonight. Now, there was more new titles that got delivered tonight on Smackdown. So enough with the weather talk, and we're going to go into what happened on Friday Night Smackdown. There was new titles. Actually, there was a whole slew of things that just happened on SmackDown. And we're going to check this out. We're going to check out what happened tonight on SmackDown. We're not going to do every bit of it, but we're going to go over what happened tonight on SmackDown. So we're going to look at what happened tonight on Friday Night SmackDown. So we're going to start off with the new women's title that came on SmackDown. We're going to start off with that. And I'm going to react to it.
Oscar, on behalf of WWE, it is my pleasure to present this, the brand new WWE Women's Championship.
Wow, another gold title.
If I could have the Raw Championship, please.
So the Raw Women's Championship is gone, and she gets a WWE Women's Champion. But what's going to happen to Rhea Ripley on Raw? Because she's got the SmackDown Women's Champion. Not only that, apparently there's Charlotte Flair returning.
It is! Charlotte Flair is here! We haven't seen the 14-time champion since WrestleMania.
I feel like we're going back into the early 2000s. I mean, the 2000s, 2010s era, where there was no Raw or SmackDown Women's Champion. There was a WWE Divas Champion, and then there was a Women's Champion.
Not quite the way that Oscar wanted to celebrate her new title tonight. How do you know? You're trying to read the mind of Oscar? Interesting history between these two.
So we'll get to see what Charlotte Flair has to say.
The greatest women's champion of all time is here. The biggest star in the game right here on SmackDown.
After she gets done doing her pathetic intro. Here we go, now that we got talking.
What are we doing? Charlotte, listen, I know what you're trying to do. At least I think I do. I think I know what you're trying to do, but listen, you kind of need to get in line.
Excuse me? I don't wait in line. I made the line. Woo! Hi, Asuka. No one respects you more than me. You know that, right? No one. I know what you can do. But I want that championship. So I'm challenging you for the title.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Wrong title. She pointed at the wrong belt. That belt's going away.
Really? I accept. Madam, when you make this match official, you can put that championship around my waist, too.
No. No, we ain't having a gold title with the red belt. That's not happening.
So Asuka accepted Charlotte's challenge.
So it looks like next week we've got Asuka versus Charlotte Flair for the WWE Women's Championship.
Who's expecting a championship opportunity? Given a crowded field, but of course, when the championship is that important, it's inevitable. Once again, Charlotte Flair proving why she is one step ahead of everybody, and in my eyes, Charlotte Flair is absolutely at the right to go any line she wants.
Let's see what we're gonna see. What else happened? Okay, we're gonna go to the next one. Roman Reigns wants Jey Uso to be the tribal chief. What? I gotta watch this.
You know, Kat lives there now. Our connection is based on spiritual, not physical intimacy. I don't miss it. Sex is beautiful, like the noises.
Joyride, July 7th.
So we got Jey Uso and Sosco and Paul Heyman in the ring right now.
I let a lot of things slide, right? But stabbing our big brother in the back is something you don't do, Solo. I don't know if I can forgive you for that. So say what you need to say to me, OG. You know, you got this all wrong. You got this all wrong, and here's why you got this all wrong. It's not Solo's fault. It's not my fault. It's not the tribal chief's fault. It's not your fault. This is all Jimmy's fault.
Wow, they're blaming it on Jimmy.
This is all Jimmy's fault because Jimmy made up his own mind, and not just for himself. Jimmy made up his mind for you. Do me a favor. It's okay. Come on, it's okay. Take a step back. Please, Solo, please. It's okay. Now, I'm no physical threat. So you can understand, I'm opening my heart out to you. I'm taking a chance right now, standing this close. And here's why. When Jimmy kicked the tribal chief and Night of Champions. Did he ask you about it in advance? Were you in on that? No. No. Jimmy pulled the trigger for himself and for you. That's what he's always been, because he's the older brother. He was the firstborn. No disrespect towards Jimmy, but Jimmy's always resented you. And you want to know why Jimmy always resented you? Because Jimmy is in on something that you're not. Jimmy's in on the fact that the tribal chief, Roman Reigns, wants to groom you, the right-hand man, to be the next tribal chief.
Well, Jimmy would probably do better than what Roman Reigns is, because Roman Reigns is on a high horse.
Your destiny, that's your fate. That's who you are going to be. And it was never going to be Jimmy, and Jimmy's known it since day
He wants
one.
Jay to be the tribal chief. Oh, Jay would do a heck of a job. I keep getting Jimmy and Jay mixed up because they're twins.
See, Jay, they're booing because they don't know the truth. And I'm going to prove the truth to you. Tonight, at the tribal chief's behest, I have arranged a match that sets your trajectory to becoming the next tribal chief. Tonight, you bring gold back to the bloodline. But it's not tag team gold, because unfortunately, because of Jimmy, there is no more tag team in WWE known as the Usos.
Paul Heyman's a bunch of bullcrap lies.
Jimmy caused. But you will bring home gold to the bloodline, because tonight, right-hand man Jey Uso, successor to the throne of the tribal chief Roman Reigns, you will defeat Austin Theory for the United States heavyweight.
Jimmy Uso versus Austin Theory for the United States champion. I mean Jey Uso, not Jimmy.
Starts tonight, and it starts with you beating Austin Theory, and then Jey Uso, then the tribal chief will embrace you and will publicly groom you.
But how is Jay the tribal chief if he ain't got the major world title? Well, Roman's got the major world title.
So you will become tribal chief.
More like mid-card chief. Because he's going for the mid-card title.
Your answer now.
I'll take you up on that U.S. challenge, though, OG. Hey, I'll get back to you on that.
Good move, Jay. He just walked out from... I also want to point... I'm going to see if I can find something. I was looking through my Facebook and I found this on my phone earlier if I could find it. If I can find it. And I found this on Sportskeeda. And this is what it says. And I'm going to read this to you. The Bloodline locked horns against Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens and Matt Riddle in a 3-on-3 tag match at WWE Backlash 2023. Now, this was in May. While many had predicted a win for the babyfaces in the match, it didn't happen. The Usos and Solo Sikoa prevailed over their rivals to earn a major victory for the Bloodline. Following their huge win at the event, when questioned that has been river beating in their minds of WWE fans is what will happen to the Bloodline next. To feed into this widespread curiosity, the time being, here are 5 big predictions for the heel faction after WWE Backlash. This might be a little old. This might be old, but I'm going to figure out if this is new or not. The Bloodlines will stand stronger after their following win their win at WWE Backlash. Solo turns on the Usos. Roman Reigns kicks the Usos out of the function. Ava Raine joins the Bloodline. Number 1. New challenges could be in the store for the Bloodline after... Okay, this is old. I gotta find new, fresh stuff. This is old. I gotta find fresh stuff. This is not what I was reading earlier. Hold on. I gotta... Okay. Hold on. Here we go. I found... That was the wrong thing. Okay, here's the right thing, I think. This is the right thing. I was reading something completely wrong. WWE weaved another epic chapter in all the timer of a story Saturday as the Usos finally freed themselves of the Bloodline with Jimmy Uso. Okay, yeah, this is new. Freed themselves of the Bloodline with Jimmy Uso's betrayal marking the end of an era. The main event tonight, the champions from Jedi Survivor, was never going to be a traditional match. Reigns and Solo Sikoa weren't going to rip the undisputed tag titles from Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, which they never did anyway. Not with so much strife between family on the challenger side of the ring, but the main question was Jimmy needled and barbed by Reigns for weeks, distraught and with his brothers kowtowing and downright abusive at the hands of his cousin broke he and his brothers free. Which y'all heard on the reaction video of Night of the Champions, the Usos turn on Roman and Solo. The line uttered by Jimmy before the no take back second kick says it all. I'm doing what you should have done a long time ago. This is what Jimmy said. I'm doing what you should have done a long time ago. I got you. It was the only proper way for the storyline to progress here, and about as organic as it gets, hence the careful build-up of tension for weeks. Some night bemoaning this as a retreat of Jay's plot around WrestleMania season and throw out accusations of being an artificial extension of things until WWE hits bigger events like SummerSlam, if not next year's WrestleMania. But Jimmy's character growth was inevitable in this tale. Jay was the one emotionally abused near the start of this saga. Now, this was back in 2020 where it started, where they had Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso for the Universal Champion, and Jay kept losing because Roman didn't want to pass the champion along to his cousin. This is when Roman had first got the title in 2020. And had against his tour reverting to trying to make things right best he can for his brother. That's never been Jimmy. Jimmy, at least in this tale, has had this tension over the treatment of his brother festering for a while. Tack on losing the unified titles at WrestleMania 39 and Reigns directly aiming at him since to the point of even replacing the Usos in tag title matches. Personally, it was never going to fly. He's always had more alpha style personality of the two brothers. He is, after all, the only Bloodline member with a t-shirt for sale on WWE shops with the slogans, no, I can't say the word, but nobody's, and it's bleeped out BH. Can't say the word. They should have known that when Roman and Solo was even going to tag team, it wasn't even going to work because he couldn't hold more than 2 titles in the first place. Why go for more? I don't know why he would want to go for more. I don't know why in the world he thinks he would go for more if it didn't work out. I think it's just a matter of time before he gets slapped off that little high horse he's on. Because everybody says he's on a high horse wanting to be the most dominant world champion. Oh, but look on Raw. They brought in a new world title called the World Heavyweight Champion. And Seth Rollins is the world title holder. So, there's 2 world titles again. So, we'll find out in Survivor Series who the most dominant world champion is. Seth Rollins or Roman Reigns. Where things go from here is downright enthralling. Reigns will go after Jimmy, who won't back down. Odds are Jay fully swings to one side if he hasn't already. Reigns himself looked devastated as the show faded to black. To not so much over Zayn's taunting with the tag belts, but through fully understanding he just lost 2 members. One might argue, and it feels better than when Zayn betrayed the bloodline. That was at Royal Rumble. Sounds like blasphemy at first pass, but this has always been a family-centric story. First and foremost, Jimmy ripping things apart and Jay potentially finishing them would all be sorts of poetic or poic, whatever it is. I can't read some of these words very well. In the grander scheme, this is yet another example of why WWE got it right with when Reigns took down Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 39. There's 0 sense in cutting short the greatest pro wrestling story of all time and putting moments like this at risk. He can't throw it in the Usos' face that he's carrying all the weight of the bloodline if he had lost at the show of shows too. It was the right call then, and it remains so now. But I literally watched a video earlier. I was scrolling through my YouTube channel. I was watching a video earlier, and I saw where Roman, where it said that there was a little rumor going around that said Roman Reigns is not happy with WWE right now. And he's not happy because, and it was over the tag match. Because there was a behind-the-scenes report that I heard that Roman was actually going to let Cody Rhodes, the script was they was going to let Cody Rhodes beat Roman at WrestleMania 39 so Roman can go have a vacation and have some time off until SummerSlam in August. And Roman was going to give Cody Rhodes the moment that Cody Rhodes needed. Because his cousin the Usos lost the titles. But that was Triple H's script. Triple H was the one that was wanting Roman to do that. But then Roman had asked to, apparently there was a report that Roman had asked to leave and give up the titles, and Vince McMahon came and told Triple H, no, make Roman retain because WWE just got bought by Innovator, which also owns UFC and boxing. And Roman was the highest champion of the company at that moment. Which was, I think it was pretty stupid. But then I also heard that they was originally going to have an episode of Raw before they brought in the World Heavyweight Championship for Seth Rollins on Raw to win. They was going to try to do a match between Roman and Cody, a rematch for the undisputed titles, and Cody get it on Raw, but Cody would hang on to the WWE Championship and cause the Universal Championship to get shifted back to SmackDown, and then it's vacated, and then they would have Roman go against somebody and try to get Roman to win it back so he can continue his dominant reign as Universal Champion without the WWE Champion. But then I didn't see that happening because they had already unified the titles there. They was already in the process of making a new title for Roman, so they couldn't have split it up. And then I'm going to read this. It says, how good was Saturday? Zayn and Owens and even Paul Heyman may be the greatest of all time on the mic and one of the best personalities ever were sideshows. The draw has always been about the bloodline, little else. Even if WWE reverts in 9 months or so and injects an outsider like Cody Rhodes back into the Usos have just ascended another plane, reaching New Day levels of babyface over as a result of the storytelling progression. Still, we're a long ways out from a conclusion, a long ways from Jay getting another shot. Solo's possible, but Solo could possibly be another one to betray Roman, which I'm hoping to see. The starting point is Money in the Bank on July 1st, when it will be a tag match between Roman Reigns and Solo against the Usos. Either way, fans are firmly in the Jimmy session of this epic, long-running story after the Sammy and Jay arcs, the archives. Each start, build up, and finish has a way of pulling even the most of the fans back. Saturday is the perfect example as to why everything felt by the books until it wasn't a major swerve that again makes any bloodline-related programming capitating. That's the difference now. Bloodline events aren't just wrestling matches, they're epics. Seth Rollins versus AJ Styles was a good match, but it couldn't compare to Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar's main event. Was unexplained, and the main in-ring story was an arm. It just doesn't compare. Truly, the Bloodline has become sports entertainment. And it sure feels like Jimmy just super kicked the snowball down the mountain. The fall of Reigns wasn't going to happen quickly, nor was it going to be predictable. Jimmy, a former bystander, will finally play a pivotal role after forging one of the most iconic moments in this epic, which is another example of pro wrestling storytelling at its best. Is there more to this? Okay, there's not more to that. But I did hear a story. I did hear something else earlier that there's going to be a new bloodline getting started. And I just don't see it happening, but in the same way I kind of do. I'm like 50-50. Jimmy and Jay Uso was going to start a new bloodline and they was going to lead it. But they was going to bring back The Rock and put The Rock in the bloodline, along with Triple H being their manager, kind of like what Paul Heyman is to Roman and Solo. So it's just a matter of time before we see Rock and Roman go at it. I'm like Googling things up and figuring out stuff on different wrestling sites. Okay, guys, I just found this. I'm going to read this to you, and this is regarding also the bloodline. Roman Reigns is the undisputed Universal Champion who has been leading the mainstay of Smackdown, leaving Raw without a world champion. With this recently changed, Seth Rollins filled the spot by becoming the inaugural World Heavyweight Champion of the Red Brand. However, wrestling veteran Vince Russo, I think I said that right, said that Reigns could make a controversial decision if he wins Rollins' title too. See, Roman is trying to get Rollins' title. That ain't going to happen because he's not allowed to have it because he's on SmackDown. On the last episode of Riding with Russo, spoke to Dr. Chris Featherstone about the newly introduced World Heavyweight Championship on how Roman Reigns would fit into it all. Russo said that if it were to him, he would have let Roman Reigns compete and win the World Heavyweight Championship and unify the titles again. I would do something as crazy as this, let Roman Reigns compete for it. This is exact words. I would do something as crazy as this. Let Roman Reigns compete for it. Let Roman win it, and then let him say, bro, I ain't walking around with 3 belts. I have to go through airports. And like the old days, I'm going to literally melt all the gold together, and we're going to have 1 belt. Because I cannot be carrying 3 belts around with me. I would do something like that, and whatever the name is going to be, and do something from there. That's the thing. It's illogical. You know it's illogical in that it makes no sense. But the WWE Universe will buy anything, he said. Earlier on the show, Vince Russo also admitted that he feels WWE is going to disservice to Seth Rollins as he feels the Visionary is a secondary champion compared to the Tribal Chief. It absolutely does to me. It does. Okay, I'm not going to read this. Okay, I'm going to read this. It absolutely does to me. It does because it honestly feels like we can't take these titles off Roman Reigns. So we're just going to create another title. I don't know how we would feel any different to anybody else, but that's basically what they did. And it has nothing to do with Seth Rollins. However, is the champion. I would feel the same way to me that was the premise, which means this champion isn't good enough to beat Roman, he said. In the past, when Roman Reigns has went into a match with Seth Rollins, Roman never won against Seth. It was either Seth had pinned him or it was a DQ. It was a disqualification. Roman has never actually got to beat Seth Rollins one-on-one. And then I'm going to read one more thing, and then we're going to get to another video, and then I'm going to wrap up the stream. Hold on. There's 2 things I'm going to read. Roman Reigns is closing in on 1,000 days as champions, which he has already passed. It's historic in decades and probably won't see another one like this for another few decades. What we are witnessing is genuinely historic. Since returning to the company at SummerSlam in 2020, Reigns has been one of the most dominant superstars in WWE history. Reigns has not been pinned since December of 2019, and it looks like it'll stay that way for a while longer. Reigns has been a top guy ever since he debuted in 2012 in NXT. but he's committed to himself as one of the greatest superstars that's ever come in the last few years. Since his title reign began nearly 3 years ago, many superstars have stepped up but failed to dethrone the Tribal Chief. He's defeated superstars such as John Cena, Cody Rhodes, Brock Lesnar, Edge, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn. Although these superstars gave it at their best shot, none have been able to take the undisputed WWE Universal Championship away from Reigns. Because Reigns has been so dominant, and WWE can't find anybody to dethrone him yet, the company introduced the new World Heavyweight Championship, which I've been hearing about a lot. I'm hearing a lot about this new belt. For months, fans have been begging for a new championship or at least split Reigns titles. Although it shouldn't be viewed as one, many believe that this is a consultation prize to Reigns' championship. This reason is that since nobody can beat Reigns, WWE need to introduce a new title to help out the main event scene. WWE could have introduced a new World Championship for other reasons too, since Reigns won the WWE Championship at WrestleMania and took both titles hostage. The main event scene has suffered. WWE needed to fix their main event scene and give main event superstars a title to fight over. But WWE could have also introduced the World Heavyweight Championship to allow Reigns to keep the undisputed WWE Universal Championship even longer. WWE is walking on a very thin line with Reigns' title range. As historic as it is, WWE needs to be careful that it doesn't start to drag on. Unfortunately for them fans, that it's becoming stale. Many people think Rhodes dethroning Reigns at WrestleMania 39 was the perfect moment for him to lose the titles. WWE obviously had other plans and wanted to see Reigns at the 1,000-day mark as world champion. Reigns could go well beyond 1,000 days as world champion, according to Andrew Zarin of the Wrestling Observer in response to a tweet about Reigns surpassing Hulk Hogan's 1,474-day title reign. And that's going to be in the history book. The thought of Reigns holding on to an undisputed WWE Universal Championship will upset many fans to the storyline of Reigns' dominance over the WWE roster has run its course. For others, the belief that Reigns' dominance can continue if the story makes sense. The entire Tribal Chief and Bloodline story has been the best story WWE has told in decades. Not every bit of it has been perfect, but it's still interesting nearly 3 years later. WWE introducing the new World Heavyweight Championship allows them to continue this reign for another year. So with Reigns being a part-time champion, this will also allow the new World Championship to get plenty of attention to make its work. WWE has to tell an excellent story because of what they've done so far. Fans should trust them with whatever they do with the storyline. It's been fantastic up to this point, so there should be a little doubt that they'll mess it up with moving forward. How longer do you think Roman Reigns should remain the undisputed Universal Champion? WWE could easily have Reigns lose titles after surpassing the 1,000-day mark at Night of the Champions. With SummerSlam coming up, Reigns could lose titles in a rematch against Cody Rhodes, or WWE could hold off on that match till WrestleMania 40. The possibilities truly are endless. It'll be interesting to see what WWE does with the rest of Roman Reigns' historic title run. Okay, I'm going to have to skip through part of this. Because I need to get time for the video. I'm going to have to rush through this. Okay, here's this one. I'm going to have to rush through this. 5 signs Roman Reigns won't lose the undisputed WWE Universal Championship until 2025. Reigns needs to continue his dominance till September 2024 to surpass Hulk Hogan's WWE Championship record of 1,474 days, judging by the current events. He may break the decades-long world record and remain champion sometime after. The Tribal Chief won the Universal Championship at Payback 2020 and the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 38. Even though he unified the world titles, he retained the lineage of the Universal title. That was the first of the historic run that was about to follow. There is no stopping Roman Reigns' undisputed reign from crossing 1,000 days at Night of the Champions. In his list, we will delve deeper into some indicators of why he should hold on to the world titles until 2025. Here's 5 reasons. Roman Reigns is money. The most obvious point is that Roman Reigns overtook John Cena as the highest merchandise seller in 2021. His position is the top stars that hasn't fluctuated since then, and it is one of the reasons why WWE continues to promote him as the centerpiece of the company. Number 4, the induction of the World Heavyweight Championship. Many were annoyed by the result of the rest of WrestleMania. Cody Rhodes was believed to be the chosen one to defeat Roman Reigns and refuel the competition in the main roster. Also, Raw has been devoid of a world champion for a long time. Triple H solved this problem by introducing the World Heavyweight Championship. The focus has shifted to the new title, which will be exclusive to the Red brand, so Roman won't need to drop a championship or for the roster's sake. Okay, we'll have to rush through this. 3, an extended period of no defense due to the tag team situation. Night of Champions will be the second consecutive premium live event at which the Tribal Chief won't put his undisputed titles on the line. Recent reports also mentioned that Roman Reigns and Soul Code would face their bloodline cousins in the summer, which will be at Money in the Bank. Two, WWE wants to rewrite the history books. Since Triple H has taken over the reins of the sports entertainment giant, several sponsorship and ticket sales records have been broken. Those aren't the only records he is keen on changing. It is believed that WWE wants champions like Gunther and Roman Reigns to displace prominent names in the history books, which Gunther's the longest Intercontinental Champion right now. After all, there may not be a better time to lift modern-day stars to legendary status. Much of the records have been untouched for years. Hulk Hogan is the third longest reigning WWE champion in history. If WWE somehow manages to generate interest in Reigns' storyline until September 2024, there's a good chance he may continue to back him to break Bob Backlund's record of 2,135 days with the WWF title that happened in 1977. It seems it seems like a big task. And here's number 1. Roman Reigns versus The Rock is rumored for WrestleMania 40. A dream showdown that has been hyped for almost 2 years could happen in April 2024. Even though The Rock failed to show up this year, indicate that the door is open for him to have a match with the Tribal Chief next year. If the Brahma Bull takes time out of his Hollywood schedule, his match will likely be at the Show of Shows this May, monumentally Hulk Cody Rhodes. But he could still be able to end his story in a potential match. The Rock is bound to put over his bloodline cousin, as he is the present and the future of the WWE business. By the time WrestleMania 40 rolls out, Roman Reigns will compete at 1,300 plus days as Universal Champion, will be much closer to Hulk Hogan's title record, as WWE shall most likely be interested in rewriting history at that time. And here in about a couple of weeks, Roman Reigns will be passing Pedro Morales' long title reign. That was in 1971. And they've also said, and I'm going to tell you something about The Rock. Dwayne Rock Johnson and CM Punk's long 434-day reign as the WWE Champion in 2012 at the Royal Rumble. The Rock did. Alright, so we're going to get to the next video, which is... We're going to get to the video, which is...
Jay is the golden.
which is Jey Uso versus Austin Theory for the United States Championship. We got a commercial, so I gotta fast forward. So here we go.
Jay is the golden twin. Always had the most potential out of Jay and Jimmy. Jimmy is just a spare. He's like Prince Harry in the UK. Surplus to requirements.
So we got Jey Uso and Austin Theory in the ring right now.
Just like the red-headed once-away prince.
Austin Theory just took down Jey Uso. Jey just hit Austin with the clothesline.
The other part of this equation is that Jay has to prove himself worthy right now.
Jey throws Austin Theory over the top rope. This ain't. I'm not gonna watch the whole match because it's so long and I ain't got time to do it. So Jey Uso throws Austin Theory over the announce table, over the commentary table. Austin Theory's got Jey Uso in a headlock. And Jey Uso told Paul Heyman that if he goes back in the bloodline, Paul Heyman's out. So Jey Uso suplexes Austin Theory. Pins him 1, 2. Austin Theory kicks out. Austin Theory's going to go for A-Town on Jey Uso. Jey reverses. Austin Theory sneaks a low blow on him. Now he's going to go for A-Town down again. He's going to go for A-Town. 1, 2. Jey kicks out.
Starting to get frustrated with just how resilient main event Jey Uso truly is. The point I was making, Wade, is that there is strength in numbers. And of course, Solo's supposed to enforce dangerous as ever. But for Roman Reigns to have 3 people in his corner, we've seen what the Usos have meant. He would be champion for 1,000 days if it wasn't for Jimmy and Jey. It's not strength in numbers if one of those cohorts just so happens to be a Trojan horse.
Okay, Austin Theory goes for A-Town down again on Jey. Jey reverses super kick. Austin Theory hits Jey with a super kick. Jey hits him with a super kick again. Super kick. Referee gets knocked out. Wrong place, wrong time. Jey goes to pin Austin. Okay, Jey's going for the Uso splash. Uso splash. And he's going to pin Austin Theory. Right about in there, Jey would have had Austin pinned, but the referee was knocked down. It counted about a 10 count because the referee got knocked out. It was a count of 10. Then Austin Theory's got running buddies called Pretty Deadly. They look like women guys. And then Jimmy Uso kicks Pretty Deadly out of the ring. They look like Barbies, though. I ain't gonna lie, they look like Barbies. Solo Sikoa knocks Jimmy out of the ring. Okay, Jey stops Solo from hitting Jimmy. Solo pushes Jey over. Jimmy super kicks Jey on accident. Then Jimmy beats the crap out of Solo. Referee's coming back. Okay, the referee's Austin pins. 1, 2, 3. Austin Theory retains the United States champion. That's another title reign I kind of want to look up. It's Austin Theory's. Not just worry about the Bullen, but I want to worry about Austin Theory's title reign. kind of want to wonder about that one myself, as Austin Theory's title reign. So here's a report. So here's what's going to happen with Austin Theory's title. It has been long known that WWE viewed Austin Theory as the title top star, and the company could set a kickstart to his push to the main event picture this year. There has been a big story coming ahead. The major plans would only begin after he drops the United States Championship, though. And Big WE noted that he could lose his title at SummerSlam and move on to a world title from there. Kind of want to see that, actually. Theory is currently in his second reign as United States Champion, having regained the gold at Survivor Series in November 2022. He has since defeated the likes of Seth Rollins, Bobby Lashley, Edge, and even John Cena at WrestleMania 39. Primarily, though, shenanigans, the 25-year-old became a program with Sheamus on last week's edition of Smackdown. The United States Championship on tonight's show from the Blue Brand. The match was taped on May 19th to ensure talented books for the Night of Champions had enough time to travel to Saudi Arabia. When Austin Theory made his WWE main roster debut back in 2021, he has billed as being Vince McMahon's handpicked future of the WWE. This narrative has cropped. Okay, this may be somewhat old. Hold on. Oh, and this may be a little bit old. I gotta go forward with this. This may be a little bit old. Yeah, this is old. So I basically said what I needed to say about the Friday Night Smackdown. That was a little bit old. But I do want to say, next Friday, I will be reacting to Friday Night Smackdown on live stream. Next Friday, I will be reacting to Friday Night Smackdown, and there's more to the story in that. They're going to be in Lexington, Kentucky this Friday for Friday Night Smackdown, which is the same state that I live in. Which there's more story to that. Very rarely you'll see a reaction video from WWE in the same state that you live in. So that's going to be a rare thing that's going to happen. And there's more to it than that. What is it? There's a title on the line next week. Yeah, there's a title on the line. The women's tag team. Oh, yeah, there's a title on the line. Asuka defends the WWE Women's Champion against Charlotte Flair. There's going to be a title unification match between the NXT Women's Tag Team Champion and the WWE Women's Tag Team Champion. There's going to be a women's unification match. So that's another thing that's going to be interesting. So there's a lot of things going to be happening as far as next week's Friday Night Smackdown. So next week, I'll be reacting to Friday Night Smackdown. And hopefully that'll be the last WWE thing until July 1st, which is Money in the Bank. So yeah, for those of y'all that's gonna be watching me react to Friday Night Smackdown, I will be seeing you guys next week. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get off here. You guys have a great night. I'll see you on the next live stream.